Hi. Brad was going to sing for us.
Oh, yes, I was. We're coming to you live from the Francine Fakakta compound here in Lower Manhattan. My name is Brad Boles. I'm from the Real Housewives of New York City, and we are with the editor-in-chief of FocusOnStyle.com. And I had to actually drag her screaming and yelling from her closet today because she's having moth issues, which is a whole other story. So what I'm smelling right now is not what you're smelling. Anyway, well, at least I know my clothes won't be eaten.
I'm not wearing my mothy clothes. We put them away. We wore them for the last segment. I gotta get out of this.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not the one. I don't believe in moth spray. I believe in cedar. My husband is the one with the moth spray.
He's a little carried away.
A little insane because a moth ate one of our rugs, and that was not fun. And we thought we got rid of all of them.
Okay.
And one just came back, so he's been berserk. So.
All right. So today we're coming to you from the Francine Fakakta compound in downtown Manhattan, and we're going to talk about boots, women's boots in particular. And we're going to talk about boots in fall boots in particular, and how people are, how women, well, you can be a man too, makes the transition into fall boots and what works. And we, thank God, the trend has moved away from the Gladiator.
The open toe booty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know girls. It's just, Naveed Hussain, who's with Vagabond NYC and who sometimes writes for Focus on Style. He's one of our he's our fashion contributor. He's really funny. And Naveed had the line for Fashion Night Out, last month or so. He went to this thing and there were all these like drunken girls there, and he said, "Oh my God, it was a circus, and open toe booty was the sponsor."
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? Open toe booty is not your sponsor. It's just the trend was there. It was cute for a few minutes. Move on. It looks weird. And you know what's even more disgusting? Open-toe booties and chipped toenails. Like, I don't get it. It's, you could stretch your pedicure a week with boots. Please. I know it's, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. A girlfriend of mine recently, she's been doing the Brazilian for many, many years. And she's got
too much information.
And her current boyfriend really doesn't like things that bald. So she actually called me the other day seriously and asked me if she thought there was anybody out there that might be able to do a coochie transplant. Mm-hmm. Are you like shocked right now? It's true.
So would she laser it off?
She got rid of it all, and now it will never go back. And the guy that she's with now currently, so she's...
We could digress. I know when I first met my husband, he was telling me about his friends, and there's the ones that want too much, the ones that want nothing. It's like, guys, we don't walk around going, we want a guy who's yin, yin, yang. How about if you grow up?
Yeah, okay.
Neat and trim.
Let's talk about the riding boot. That was one of my favorites.
Let's talk riding boot from Brazilians to riding boots.
Absolutely,
it's all same night.
Well, don't they ride horses down in Brazil? Yeah, of course they do.
But the Brazilian is not from Brazil. It was the J sisters who created the Brazilian, but they just did it because they kind of thought it's cool. No, Brazilian girls kind of, trim the lawn a bit, but they don't get rid of it completely.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's talk about riding boots and the trend this fall, where they are. Riding boots I find they are beautiful, and they certainly belong on when you're riding a horse. Riding boots are extremely difficult for women that have any sort of calf.
And high instep.
Yeah.
You can't get your foot in it.
They look sexy if you're tall, extremely tall.
Extremely tall with thin thighs.
Yeah, you look great. Ladies, if you're height challenged and calf challenged,
so many challenges.
You just definitely don't want to do the
well, they do
boot.
have some wide calf riding boots out right now, and that's fine. And then what you want to make sure is when you're buying a boot like that, because a riding boot is a very stiff boot, you want to make sure that the boot does not pull against your calf, even though you got your leg into it, so it doesn't have that really tight look in the middle and then get looser on top. You want to make sure it glides over your foot, and if you need to have it taken in, well, actually glide over.
Well, unless you can afford to have a custom riding boot made, but you're talking upwards of $1,700.
But a custom riding boot is for horse. It's not for horsing around. No. It's for
It is. It's true. And don't forget, they're not. Yeah, that's very true. A lot of people confuse the fact that a riding.
And you can't walk in real riding boots.
They're not. They're incredibly uncomfortable.
They're not meant for walking. They're meant for riding.
They are. Let's talk about these all sort of weatherproof, weather terrained, half fabric, half rubber soles. I guess you call them duck boots.
duck boots or winter, everyone is all crazy with the rubber boot trend that went crazy, and then wellies and duck boots. Now, I think it's great. And
would you wear that with a skirt?
if I was a 19-year-old model who was 5'10" and weighed 118 pounds,
With a $20,000 Birkin bag.
yeah, and was really cool, and was
yeah.
the girl that looked really great with yesterday's
Exactly.
dirty, stringy hair, and I knew how to put it together. Yes,
Yeah.
I am not her. No.
I think your classic duck boot belongs on a Saturday when you're running to the supermarket.
In the mud.
it's
If
truly
there's no
raining,
mud
yeah.
involved, I don't care that you think it's
Right.
fashion. It's really ridiculous. And the other thing is, with all these outdoor weather boots, I mean, I think it's great to have rubber boots. Like,
Yes, but what about?
but how many do you need? I
well,
mean, it doesn't.
and how about this? And I
you
mean,
don't
don't
wanna
even
wear
get
them
don't
all
even
day.
get
They're
don't
not comfortable, and your feet
and don't
sweat.
even get me started on the Uggs. Oh, nobody looks attractive in an Ugg. Nobody. Do you own an Ugg?
No, but you know what's funny?
If I go into your closet right now, am I going to find an Ugg? And
No,
lie?
I don't even have Uggs in Wyoming. No, it's
Do
not
you-
my thing. And
do
I
you,
try.
Do you Ugg and barrel race at the same time?
No, they're ugly. No, but the thing is, I maybe have.
Do you think the lesbians created the Ugg?
I may be having
Girls?
foot surgery coming up, and I'm thinking, well, if I have to have that, I need to have some
So
kind
you're
of.
going to get some Uggs.
Well, I know, but I've tried on several pairs of those boots in preparation, saying, well, and I look down at my,
Oh,
and
no!
I can't do that.
You can't do it.
No.
So what do you think is going to happen with the ankle boot?
I think an ankle boot is pretty much a classic and here to stay. What changes with the ankle boot every year is kind of the type of heel or the
It
cut
is,
of
it's
it.
true.
But if you get an ankle boot with a nice refined stacked heel, like a 3-inch heel, you can probably get a lot of wear out of it. If you get something with a little lower chunky
But
heel.
I think when it comes to the ankle boots, though, I think you need to steer away from the trends.
Yeah, go for something classic.
Yeah.
And, when you're wearing an ankle boot that you want to wear with skirts, more of a booty, like below your ankle.
and it needs to have a bit of a heel. You
A bit-
cannot do a flat ankle boot with a skirt.
Unless you're that same girl who's like 5'10" and weighs 18 pounds.
Right.
But pretty
Or-
much, no, it's not a good plan. You should wear it with a skirt. A booty unquestionably looks better. If you're wearing an ankle boot with a
Right.
skirt, try to wear dark tights and match it to your leg. Yes, there's a few girls who can go bare-legged with a tan and a little, nude color ankle
It's
boot.
true.
There's a few. There's not many of you out there. Most of you look horrific. The rest of you, you could pull it off.
It's interesting though. But now, just to kind of expand upon this, what do you recommend to people that live in warm weather climates, such as let's say Florida?
Open-toe booty?
No, I mean, what do
Well,
you do?
that I had a couple of years where I was kind of big on wearing, way back when,
Doc
like
Martens?
Oh no, they always gave me calluses. They were so.
I love Doc
I
Martens.
know,
They'll never
I know.
go away. In fact, they've made a huge resurgence.
I know, and they look great on other people, but I
I wonder
always
if
had callus
do you
in
think
them.
that Madonna donated her Doc Martens to some museum somewhere?
The Smithsonian? I don't know.
They must be somewhere. I think that whole
Maybe,
outfit.
maybe it's called the Goodwill.
I think that whole outfit's been donated. The whole look.
I
the
had- well-
Maripole with all of the crosses and
Well, she had a batch of them.
yeah, absolutely.
But no, as far as like the combat boots, your mother wears combat boots. I have a couple of pairs.
Oh, and John Vivatos is doing great combat boots for men in chocolate browns, and mostly. And don't be alarmed if you're looking at a boot that looks slightly distressed.
Oh, it looks so much better.
It looks so much better as it ages. It's like a great handbag. When it has a patina and it starts to age, it always looks a lot better than
Yeah,
when you first buy it.
that's actually a really good tip that people often forget, and it seems to be like a Midwest thing. When you're wearing a boot that's more rugged and outdoors looking,
Yes.
it always looks better. Like, don't get it in the chocolate brown kid leather that's really shiny, because then you kind of look like the person who's wearing your new white sneakers. You kind of want to get them dirty a little bit.
know.
So when you're wearing a boot that's rugged, go for a leather that looks a little bit more beat up, that looks like it actually has a little history to it. Not
Right.
completely chewed up. Well, sometimes if it's done right, it can look, the really beat up boot can look cool. But, something that actually looks more real, as opposed to like you're trying to wear this rugged
It's
boot
true.
that's too polished, then,
Right.
you look like
And
the guy
don't-
who carries his phone on his belt.
And don't do it in patent leather.
Oh.
It just doesn't work. Anyway, those are our tips on our booties from short to tall and everything in between. And remember,
No, you didn't do tall boots. You did those. Let's do a fast one and over the.
oh no, I did. Oh, I did. Well, yeah, let's try.
Over the knee boots.
Over the knee boots. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's talk about
Let's
that.
do a quick over the knee boot. They are very tricky to wear. And
suede is the best in my
suede
opinion.
always looks pretty because you don't look so slutty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you are very knock-kneed or bow-legged, it's probably not the best style for you. Look for a boot that's a little, below your knee. And it does. It looks
Bow-legged. That goes back to riding horses.
And, well, it's true. Not everybody has pin straight legs. It's normal.
Everything always goes back to old Trigger. You love Trigger.
I know, I love
You tried to buy Trigger.
No, I did not buy Trigger.
Yes, you tried to buy Trigger.
I did not try to buy Trigger. Where would I put Trigger?
You were going to put him in Wyoming.
Put him on your forehead.
Yeah, you're putting Trigger, and he's a little big for that. That's true. So yeah, if you're going to do the over-the-knee boot, I definitely recommend that it be in suede. I think it looks much sexier, or a very soft leather.
So, and also, I highly recommend that it matches what's on your thigh.
Yeah.
Like if it's a dark pant or a dark legging,
Yes.
that you don't color block yourself.
Absolutely, you have to. That's not even an option. If you are doing a legging, it has to match the color of the boot. Do not.
And your sweater needs to cover your tush.
Yeah, and just don't go there. It's not pretty if you do a beige type.
Unless, of course, you're a streetwalker.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you want to do that. If that's not your, speciality,
Are
ladies.
people still walking the streets?
Well,
In this economy, I'm sure.
Because a lot of girls wearing over-the-knee boots that look like they should be walking the streets. But no. You want to make sure that you keep for an elegant look. So that's our
Absolutely.
tip.
All right, guys, and check us out on FocusOnStyle.com for any more tips on boots and fall fashion.
And go to our boots guide. We have great boots there.
Yep, great.
Even Western boots. That's a separate
Oh,
page.
that's a whole other day.
That's a whole other day. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.